Well, good Sunday morning. Sunday morning. Let me get straightened up here. I'm on the sitting on the couch here this morning. I hope it's coming through good and clear. I'd see if some guys can check in. I've got a Barbara. Could you help me and turn that? I kind of got a light push. I'm trying to get a little natural light and other lights in here this morning. Hey, Greg. Hey, Jersey. Just kind of pick up that stand and just turn it toward me. Uh, no, the whole thing. Turn. No, the other way, Barbara. There you go. There you go. All right. Well, now I got a shadow. Turn a little bit more to the left, that direction. All right. We'll go with that. I've got my lighting director over here. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Now, those flaps. Can you move those in? Yeah, let's move those flaps in a little bit. Yeah, so to get off of me a little bit. Yeah. Hey, Chris. I'm trying to put proper lighting in here and everything else. I have my sweet wife helping me change the lighting, and I don't know if I got it quite right or not, but I guess I'm gonna have to live with it. I can see a shadow behind me and everything. I know I can't fire the lighting director. she uh, she she might not. I don't know. I think I got them up too bright. Barbara, there is a little knob on the back that will dim it down. You say it looks like a little volume. Dim that down a little bit, if you will. Okay, turn it a little bit more. Turn it a little bit more, a little more, a little more. Keep turning.
That's as far as it goes.
Is that as far as it goes?
So
Okay.
that was white. Here's yellow.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. That's better. That's better. Hey, we may have to give this girl a raise, guys. She did pretty good. Got the shadow out of there then. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give her a raise. She's the best I've got. She's she's been with me almost 50 years. This year will be 50 years this year. So I think I'll keep her. Hey, William, good morning to you. Yeah, I'm trying to get a few lights and a few other things that hopefully will help these videos when I do a live stream. Uh, well, we do sometimes. A lot of times we have we got eggs and bacon and everything. She cooked me a real good breakfast yesterday. We had a brunch. That's probably. Are we going to do that again today? My lighting director slash cook says we're going to do that again today. So we got eggs and bacon and what else? What else we got? Toast and jelly. Yeah. Now we have a good breakfast like that. It's not too awfully hard to clean up after. And sometimes it's out here on Hilton Head Island. It's not there's more of the commercial stuff over at Bluffton, which is all the way across the bridge and everything. And I don't really like going. I mean, there's other things here in Hilton Head, but we don't like to have to travel that far. And so I try to do most of it. I mean, things like that we like to eat in a little bit. We don't have to. We don't cook out all the time.
But it have to get cleaned up.
Yeah, we don't have to get cleaned up. That's what she said. Yeah, we don't have, the wife said we don't have to get cleaned up to go eat breakfast that way. Yeah, that's a good thing. You have to kind of clean up a little bit to go out to certain areas. So I don't want to have to clean up every single time. Hey, Ralph, how are you? Yeah, I'm trying to get in. I had to get rid of that video I did yesterday. It had some errors on it and a few other things. I tried to correct it and make an edit on it, and then the darn edit was terrible on it. I went back and looked at it, and it was terrible. So I had to take the live stream from yesterday down. If anybody goes back and looks at those. I had that live stream yesterday, and it had some errors on it. The weather, it's sort of overcast. What's the temperature? What's the temperature say? 50 degrees. It's 50 degrees down here, overcast, kind of chilly. I stepped out a minute ago. It's a little breezy down here, and so I don't know what the weather is across the United States right now. How's the weather out where you're at, Greg and Chris and Ponca? I get the weather forecast for all the different areas. Yeah, just tell me what the weather is where y'all are at. Type that in, everybody, and that way we can kind of get an idea of what it is across the U.S. But yeah, it's sort of, like I said, it's sort of overcast. I got a little bit of natural light coming through the glass door there. I had that. Ooh, 27 degrees where Chris is. That's in Missouri. Hey, Kevin, how are you this morning? You're out traveling out west, aren't you? Well, you were the other day when I saw you chatting. So it's 32 in Jersey for Jersey Trucker, 40 and cloudy in Kentucky from Will. Okay, overcast and cool North Alabama for Greg, 36 degrees and sunny for Ponca in Oklahoma, and you're on 81 north of Whitfield. Oh, so you're in Virginia? I thought you were out west, Kevin. I guess you've been rolling. Hey, Shoestring, how are you? What's the weather on the eastern part of North Carolina? It's probably like mine down here. I'm about 50 degrees and overcast. 46 degrees in Southern California, is it, Ralph? Okay. Which part of California? Which part of Southern California? In LA or San Diego? Kansas. Okay. I hope he hadn't messed up everybody. Of course, I'm not as bad as Joe Biden trying to get or find out where everybody's at. Los Angeles. Oh, okay. I tell you what, Los Angeles out there where I-5 is a parking lot, isn't it? It's been a while since I've actually driven in Los Angeles, and it's been 30 years, and it was a nightmare 30 years ago. I haven't been out there since. So it's 35 degrees and cloudy in Whitfield, is it? Yeah, that's getting back over here toward my area. I didn't see it either, Chris. So I don't know what he said. He's going to be doing the gentleman start your engine thing today for NASCAR. So he's going to be doing that. Everybody, you're going to have to pull for my buddy for the 24 car today. If you're a NASCAR fan, pull for the 24 car, because my buddy Landon, he's the gas man for the 24, and he's the guy that we're bringing in as partners with our. He and his wife are the ones I'm bringing in with partners with my FedEx group, and he's the gas. His regular job is the gas man for the 24, and he's going to be doing that. Well, they in the twin qualifiers they won, and then yesterday he was the gas man for Junior Motorsports for the number 9 car, and they won there. So I kind of texted him yesterday, and I told him, I said, I guess you're the good luck charm this weekend. So you've been with 2 different teams, and both teams won this weekend. So maybe he'll win again today. So he's got William Byron. He's the gas man for William Byron. Landon's a big old boy. He's 6'6", but he can handle those. He can handle those gas cans and tires and everything. I'm real proud of him. He's done a real good job for Junior Motorsports. You're going to listen now, are you, Kevin? Okay. Well, I'll try to. I had to have a one-sided conversation for you because you won't be able to see everybody texting. But yeah, that's a good, safe way to do it. I'll try to. I'll try to keep my mouth rolling, which is usually not a bad, not a hard thing for me to do. I don't know if it's a bad thing or not, but it's not a hard thing for me to do. And tell you what, Barbara, can you help me one more time? I'm just kind of cock that light that direct toward that direction a little bit because that is throwing a yeah like that and push that thing in right there. That's better. That's better. Yeah. Well, depends on where I sit. I'm trying to get this where it's not so over bright, but let me kind of correct some things there. I hope I can get a decent picture for everybody. Oh, you saw my Yeah, yeah. He acknowledged it back and everything. Yeah, he did a good job. He did a real good job. Okay, so you're going to get some ground work from, I mean, some weekend work from ground. Yeah, I wish you could come over to the Charlotte area. I use, usually I have work on Saturday or Sunday. Sunday work has fallen off a little bit, but Saturday work, I still have a good bit of Saturday work to do. And I'm always looking for extra drivers on Saturdays. It seems like I am anyway. And, tell you, Barb, one more piece of help. I think now I got too much of that. So my lighting person, it really, let's see if that helps. Yeah, that was it, I think. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, now it's coming back a little more. You know, guys, I tell you what, you got to have these things perfected, and you got to. I'm a director, and I've got my light person over there walking around and all that sort of stuff. Of course, I don't think there's going to be any perfection when you all you got to look at is this. So you know, I'm trying to do. Of course, now I can put my hands up. Now that's sort of weird. Yeah, now that changes the lights right there. I tell you, I'm just not a lighting person. I'm trying to get better at this so I can have some good videos. But uh, you never know. You never know what the little cameras and a lot of automatic shutters and everything else they've got. You can have too much light, not enough light, all that sort of stuff. I hope the volume's coming in good. I hope that's coming in good. Yeah, I saw that, Kevin. Yeah, Amazon is cutting a lot of contractors, and there was a article on Channel 9 News yesterday or day before, where one of the contractors had to lay off 51 drivers. Now that was the package fans. That wasn't line haul, but that was package. But yeah, Amazon has done some funky things out there, and it's crazy how things are going with them. OP. What do you mean OP? Am I doing something wrong? I'm not. What's the abbreviation for OP, Greg? Or are we talking to somebody else? Yeah, I got an excellent face for radio. That's what I've got. I've been told that many times. I have a face made for radio. So I'm not in disagreement there, guys. Oh. You talking about one Outcast? Oh, um, I was I was not following that. Yeah, that I tell you, I saw the contract uh, with that Amazon, and when I looked at it, I said, "How in the world are they going to expect some of these contractors to make money?" Because Amazon had so many weird demands on there, and they wanted them to do so many different things to satisfy Amazon, and that was it. And it was going to be very costly. And, I know you've seen those gray vans running around that Amazon had these guys to buy and everything else. And there's going to be a lot of repossession of those gray vans, I'm afraid, because I just don't see how they can justify spending that much money on these routes, and then they're demanding that they pay the drivers some was hourly wages. Wasn't it hourly wages they were making them pay, Barbara? I think it was hourly wages, and then you're not even guaranteed so much. You're getting paid by the package, and then in turn you're paying by the hour, which is you're out of kilter at that point. If you don't make it one for one, in other words, like I get paid by the mile on my trucks, and I pay my drivers by the mile, and that way we're on the same level playing field. And if you can't do that, I don't see how these guys can do it, because you could have a bad day, whereas the package count's way down, and you're going to have a terrible paycheck, and then your driver has got this same paycheck regardless if he has 50 packages or 100 packages, and then you're paid by the package. I don't see how that's sustainable, but that's the way they're doing. I'm trying to catch up on my reading there. For those just listening, I was trying to read too, so I could stay in the conversation here, because we get a secondary conversation from what I'm doing. And Chris was talking about. I guess you're going to use what kind of laptop have you got? Just a regular Windows laptop? I use a Macintosh. I like my Macintosh. I got a MacBook Air that I've had for a few years, and that's what I'm using right here. I'm going to turn it as we speak too, because I'm still having, bear with me guys as I try to position this, because I'm still having issues. I tell you what, I am going to turn that just a little bit that way. I was kind of blurring out, I think. Now that's better. Yeah, you got to have enough light, but not too much light. And I think I was having too much, and it was actually affecting the video there. You don't want me to look washed out too bad. I'm an old white boy as it is, but you get me washed out even worse, I'll really be bad. Well, that's the thing about that, Ponca. Amazon can do pretty much what they want to do. I mean, when you're the richest man in the world, you can throw a lot of things at to see what works. And I've seen some disgruntled people in management and regular parts of the transportation that just didn't particularly like the direction they were going. I know one of the managers that we had when I started is no longer there, because he got frustrated with the way that they were doing it too. So he left. I'm trying to think where he went. I'm wanting to say
Coca-Cola.
Was it Coca-Cola? See, I have a secondary brain over here.
Your research team.
I have my research team over there, my wife. Yeah. He left and went to Coca-Cola, and I think he's enjoying that better there than trying to put up with Amazon. Amazon can be really, really aggravating. I mean, whereas with my FedEx, now I know what runs I'm taking, and I know what runs, when my trucks are in and out. But with Amazon, they would call. I just had a few trucks on with them. I had like 3 or 4 trucks on with them. And those 3 or 4 trucks were working me as hard as 30 trucks with FedEx, because Amazon would call you night and day to check and double check and cancel and then change something up. It was never any consistency at all. And they really had a lot of people that had no concept of what transportation was all about running their transportation department. They were sitting in front of a computer, and you might as well had a monkey over on the other end, in my opinion, because they didn't have brain one on what was going on. I didn't think, not common sense anyway. I'm trying to catch up. Yeah, well, yeah, I think Coca-Cola is a good company for a lot of people. I've had some other friends that have had long careers with Coca-Cola. Yeah, there's JC in there. JC can tell you how to do those things, Chris. I saw JC. You got your, was that an SUV? Was it an Impala? Is that what you said? I couldn't. I flipped over and watched a little bit of JC's video this morning that he uploaded. He had a new ride from Miss Brenda. Looks like. Good morning, Shala. How are you? I hope you're doing fine. I'm trying to recognize. I'm getting a good many subs and everything. So uh, I'm trying to recognize the new subs that are coming in and chatting with us. Yeah, they won't let you use the phone connection. It's sort of weird. Now I can use the live connection here in my condo or my house or my workplace, and I can stream off my laptop live using a mobile connection, but I can't use any of the other regular connections like an iPhone or whatever doing that too. That's yeah, yeah. The YouTube and it's got that sort of funky right now on how you can do a live stream. Well, now, Shala, now where are you from? I always like to try to figure out where everybody's chatting from. Yeah, I don't understand why the restrictions like that either, JC. It's they just started it last year. I was down here at the condo when I found out they did it because I was trying to do some different live streams, and it just threw me for a loop because I had to change everything to get a live stream up that week. Yeah, I guess so. I'm hoping in another couple of weeks I'll crack over the 1,000 mark. I'm at about 911 right now. I think it's growing more steadier right now. I'm putting more videos up and trying to uh, study all the dynamics of what YouTube. I mean, there's a lot of things out there what YouTube will tell you to do, and I've tried to study those to improve my live stream and improve the program itself. Oh, so you're in Northern California. Okay, so you're up above Sacramento, up in that area. I had to. So you're up near the Oregon border. See, Washington, Oregon. I'm trying to think. Now, which one's which? I had to think which one's. See, is Oregon's right next to California. Then it's Washington, right? I believe that's right. I had to think of my geography. Okay, yeah, okay, that's good. Well, good to have you in here, Shala. Yeah, JC's kind of hit it. You got to have good content. You got to have something people are searching for. That's what they kind of tell you. You know, if you're into landscaping, you do different things with landscaping. Or if you're doing whatever, do those things and have something that people are researching basically. And that seems to be the ones. Uh, I've got some videos I'm doing where I've upgraded some of my Mac equipment, and I'm going to put some of those up, and hopefully help grow my channel with that too, because I've rebuilt a couple of Mac computers. I got some not Power Macs, Mac Pros, the older towers that I've rebuilt, and I'm gonna try to get a video of what I've done on that. And then I've got some more shop things too. And that's what seems to be the niche is, and have your channel the where people want to search for you. And in my case too, I try to talk about trucking because of my trucking experience. So, well, you have a beautiful Sunday too, Shyla, and stick around and chat with us. And or if you're not busy, we're going to be talking, of course, about trucking and equipment and just all kind of different things is what we talk about. Hey, Nick, glad to see you in here this morning. Now, Nick, I forgot to ask you yesterday when you were in here. Now, where are you located, Nick? What state or wherever? All right, and that yeah, I'm trying to grow the channel, and that's one, that's a hard thing to do. Yeah, I think JC just, he had so many. Okay, you're in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. Okay, but you're traveling all the time. Okay, well that's good. Well, Pittsburgh's close to where our home terminal is, or our base terminal for FedEx Ground. It's over at Coropolis, Pennsylvania, which is not too far from Pittsburgh. Or is it Coropolis? Isn't that the way they pronounce it? I think I'm saying that right. You have to excuse this southern drawl saying a northern town. I may have that wrong, but that's where FedEx Ground's headquarters is Coropolis, Pennsylvania. I don't know how they got up there and started there. Well, I sort of say, because it was started by a roadway. I don't know how the connection was up there. Oh, okay. What kind of dealership is that? Oh, wow. Your husband was an ice road trucker. Oh, you're working for FedEx Ground long haul. Okay. Well, I'm a division. I've been with FedEx Ground for 33 years. Started at RPS, and then when it got bought out by FedEx, but I'm one of the oldest contractors in the system. The company started in 1985, and I started with them in '87. So I've seen FedEx Ground grow almost from the word go, and it's been very good for me though. I'd say that. Yeah, boy, ice road trucker. I have never talked to an ice road trucker. I had to admire you for that, because that's got to be one of the most treacherous things I've ever seen. Of course, I know on TV they make the drama probably worse than it actually is, because most of those reality shows do that, and but it's something. Yeah, we'll have to do that, Nick. You'll have to give me a text or whatever, and we'll chat one on one. And yeah, I like doing that. I try to. I have found a lot of interesting people out here, like JC Smith. JC and I have chatted. We've got to know each other over the last few years. JC actually came down and purchased some equipment down here in South Carolina and North Carolina, and you know, I've got very comfortable with a lot of people out there, and I enjoy making contacts like that of good, hardworking, reputable people, and that's a good thing. And it's always good to network, and I enjoy networking with a lot of people, with whether it's in the tool community, the trucking community, or whatever we're talking about. I enjoy that, because I feel like the more diverse you are as far as that type of situation, the stronger and the smarter that you get as a person. Because uh, you know, I try to I like to learn something new every day, and that's how you learn, is because you're sitting around, and uh, you can get into doldrums just watching TV and everything else. But when you're able to go a one-on-one conversation with different people from all over the world, I think it's very entertaining and very educational, because I've learned a lot of things by just conversing with a lot of people out here. So I feel very fortunate that I've been able to do that. Yeah, I mainly it shows that I'm old still, Shyla. Not so much, uh, I've gotten old with the company. 33 years, but I'm still hanging in there. And I was telling the guys earlier about, before you jumped in here, I think my my new business partner. We've pulled in some business partners, a young couple that's going to probably take over our business completely one day. But right now we're grooming them and bringing them into the business. He actually is a gas man for the 24 car. He works for Hendrick Motorsports uh, on his regular job, and then he works part time for me, and his wife works full time for us. And we are grooming them to take over our business so Barbara and I can retire one of these first days. Yeah, born in 1986. Yeah, and I started in 87. Is when I started with FedEx. Well, it was RPS back then. So yeah, I was in my 30s. So you can do the math. I'm in my late 60s now. So yeah, it has moved on very rapidly, very quick, and it doesn't seem like. I know you hear all the older people talking about how fast and fleeting life is, but it really is, because uh, I, uh, it seems like yesterday almost that I was starting with RPS and FedEx. Yeah, yeah, if you're talking about Rick Hendricks, yeah, Rick seems to be a nice guy. I've actually never met Rick firsthand. Now Landon uh, has Landon. Uh, he he Landon tells a story about there was some ruckus or something going on at the track one day. I forgot what it was, and Rick Hendricks was there, and Landon just kind of stepped over in front of all the ruckus and all the stuff was going on, and Mr. Hendricks always kind of looked at him like, "Yep, you're my bodyguard." Because Landon played football for Clemson. He was a lineman for Clemson, and then now he's the gas man for the 24 car. So he's a real big guy. I can tell you that, big strong guy, like 6'6", 6'7". I don't know exactly how tall he is, but he's up there, and stout as he can be. Of course, he has to be to get those big cans over to. He's got 100-pound cans that he's getting sticking into the car. Then he gets it, empties it, grabs another one, does the same thing, and he does it like it's nothing. I mean, I've watched him many a time, and he grabs it, and it looks like you're just handing some bag of groceries over to somebody. It's just real light looking, but he's talented. Yeah, I try to get out here and tell a few things about FedEx on that too. Uh, you sometimes you don't want to be too repetitive and be boring on that. I mean, I could be very boring. Uh, I don't want to tell every mile marker that I ran down the road and that sort of stuff. And uh, I revert back to it. Years ago, we had a great baseball player from North Carolina that was named Enos Slaughter. Now, he made it to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Well, he came to our school and gave a sports banquet speech for all the high school people. And Enos, God rest his soul and everything, he's passed on now. But he was a great baseball player. But his speech was about, I think I relived the couple of World Series that he played in play by play, because he got up and he spoke, and it was so and so hit a ground ball to second, and so did this, and he had a 2 or 3 hour speech, or it seemed like it anyway. It was a long speech, wasn't it? My wife is nodding her head because she was there, and he, like I said, he was a great baseball player, and he had a lot of life experiences. But I didn't want to relive every baseball antic that he had for. I mean, if it would have been more interesting and topical, it would have been good. But right now, I hope I never get to that point where I'm boring people to death with every aspect of every mile or every corner, because it's easily done. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, I know. I'm grandpa. I am a grandpa, and I'm proud of it. Yeah, I'm a grandpa, and hopefully you don't like that. I'm not. Grandpa's not going to bore you too much, but yeah, I've got a. My grandson is. He'll be 15 this year. My grandson's 15. Will be 15. He's a freshman in high school. He'll turn 15 in June, and of course, you know he's starting drive. Did he start driver's ed this week, or was it last week? Did he start driver's ed?
He'll start.
He starts driver's ed this week. So I'm gonna have to uh, get out there and help him drive, and a few things like that. Uh, but like I said, I hope Grandpa here won't bore y'all guys too much. I try my best to try to stay on topic and try, but I like to go with the topic that y'all were chatting about too. Well, yeah, that's what I get called, is Pawpaw. Yeah, not Grandpa so much. Yeah, it's Pawpaw here in the South, and but that's what my grandson calls me when he talks to me at all. Right now, he's at that age right now. We ask him, well, how was school? Fine. Said, how was this? Good. How was this? Fine. So I said, okay. And so I got him one day. I picked him up in the car at school, and I told him, I said, fine, good, yes, no, and all that. And I said about 5 or 6 phrases. And he said, what are you talking about? I said, well, I thought I'd just go ahead and throw out all the answers you're going to give me to the questions I'm going to ask. So we won't even have to say a conversation on the way back. And I think he realized how bad his conversations are with us now. Yeah, he's short, and you know when they get to that age, when they're that teenage age, he went from the sweet little grandson that would jump up on my lap and ask me all kind of questions and all that kind of stuff, to now he's the 15-year or 14-year-old that all I see is thumbs, and his head's down in a screen and that sort of stuff. It's really a different aspect of life out there, and they've got more distractions now than I had when I was 14 years old. At least, and I guess this is one reason my dad had all of us guys. Oh, your wife, your husband just got in. Now, are y'all running single together too, or y'all just run as a team occasionally, or have y'all broken off into single drivers right now? That's interesting. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Shyla. Uh, I, like I said, I try to uh, bring in some. Are you team when you can? Well, you can make more money single though, can't you? I mean, with the two of y'all. Hey, Timothy. Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Yeah. Now, one thing I'm telling everybody, and I hope everybody that's on my channel, I'm getting a lot of new ones. Go check out some of my buddies that are on the channel here with me too, like Chris at Outcast Projects there. Chris is a good old boy from Kansas uh, that he's trying to grow his channel too. And I like to help promote all the other people that are on these channels too. And Chris is a hardworking young man, and uh, he gets a little dangerous out there, him and Ricky, but they're fun to watch. So y'all go out there and help grow his channel along with mine. I mean, I'm a very appreciative of all the new subscribers that I've gotten over the past month or so. And but you know, I want to share the love, like Chris said. And I think you'll be entertained by seeing his channels too. He projects with a lot of old cars and some buildings. He's a contractor and all that sort of stuff, and doing different things. So it's good to. All right, I'm trying to read some of that right quick, and you have to remember, guys. This is an old guy. This is an old guy that I don't read as fast as I could. Well, really small print. I need to have a bigger screen when I'm trying to read. My text is over there. Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, I like to see people get hooked on these other channels and JC's channel and everything. Yeah, JC Smith is very entertaining. If and very JC's a very smart man, and uh, has done a lot of neat projects over the years. So you can be entertained by JC's and Chris's channel too, but just going back and looking at some of their old videos too. And I think these are good, wholesome people that I think that you'll enjoy watching their channels and everything. And that's what I like to do. I mean, that's how I picked up on them over the past few years, uh, and I like chatting with them, and we, when we're able to chat and converse, and oops, excuse me, I hit my laptop there. Don't get dizzy. I hit my laptop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's Chris's qualifications. He's a little bit of everything, uh, uh, and yeah, I kind of got onto it. I was watching him. Uh, he's been digging a basement under a house that's already established, and it brought back memories of my childhood, whereas my dad had us doing that. He had There's four of us boys. I'm one of four boys growing up, and my dad had us doing a very similar thing. We built a cellar underneath the house, and then finally, Dad and Mom decided it would be a lot better to build a new house with a basement. So Dad bought some land across town and built a brand new house, and we were very tickled that he did. I mean, I kind of enjoyed digging that when I was a little kid, but uh, I didn't think I was ever going to make a deep enough hole back underneath there uh, to make a good sizable basement. We made a little bit of a cellar, I think you might say, underneath the house. It'd be like a root cellar, but that's about as far as we got. And uh, with the four of us, and we had little army shovels, what I was digging with too. I mean, I wasn't big enough to dig with a big shovel, and we didn't have enough places to dig, but it was something. It was interesting. It was an interesting time. But I think Dad realized his cheap labor wasn't the best labor either. Well, I try to be, life's too short not to be kind out here. I do tell people that I'm not going to be a drama king. I'm not going to. I've seen a lot of people that have been on the channels and they get involved with drama, and I'm not going to be a drama king person. I'm going to be happy about what I do, uh, uh, and if I can't put out something that I can smile about, I don't want to put it out. I mean, everything that I do, I try to have something, and even like, and I tell people I've got a live radio show uh, that I do on Tuesday mornings, along with a show that I actually produce too, and on our local radio station. And one thing I do when I'm doing my show, I like to smile, and I learned that years ago when I first did radio. That a guy told me, he says, if you will smile while you're announcing or whatever, your day's gonna be better, and you'll sound better, because people can tell when you're sad and you're humdrum and everything else. And I try not to be that way. I mean, I want people to be entertained, and I want them to realize that I got a pretty good life, and I want to. I want to exude that, I guess. Is that the right word? I have my school teacher over here beside me. Was that a proper word? I said, okay. She said that was okay. I got my, whereas everybody else has spell check, I got Barbara check. She will be beside me a lot of times, and I'll type something or say something, or if she's online and she sees what I've typed, she'll say, "You need to fix that." And so being married to a retired school teacher has its benefits somewhat. All that. I'm trying to catch up over here too. Yeah, they're talking about, yeah, Chris had some I don't know where Chris is finding all these old barns. He has had some nice barn finds. Now, did you ever figure out the title on that truck? I think you were saying you thought it was a 59, 58 or 59 Chevy. Did you finally get a title? Because uh, I know in '60 they changed it dramatically. Because I was just trying to figure out if you had figured out what it was. Hey, Kevin, how are you doing this morning? Glad to see you jump in here. Now, Kevin, I've been trying to get everybody to tell me where they're located, so I try to get a geographic placement in my mind where everybody's coming in from. Now, where are you from, Kevin? Now, I think, or you're down here in the south, aren't you? Close to me. Okay, so it was a 59. Okay, 59 stock V8 4-speed truck, huh? So it had the granny gear then, I guess. Granny and 3 speeds. That's the way they used to be. If it was the stock, it would have a real low first gear and then second, third, and fourth. Okay, so you're up near Fayetteville. Okay, so you're east of me then. Well, actually, today you're north of me. You're because I'm down here at Hilton Head today. Uh, but yeah, normally my hometown is in Cherryville, North Carolina, over in Gaston County, west of Charlotte. That's where my hometown is. That's where I'll be going back tomorrow, uh, heading back up that way. Yeah, it has a granny gear. Yeah, I remember those. That's what they used to have. They had a granny gear and then three, like a regular three on the column. But that granny gear, I mean, you'd find that more for the commercial farm trucks or whatever, because be able to get, instead of having to change rear ends or have too low of a rear end, they put that granny gear in. But yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, your hometown's near Myrtle Beach. Green Sea. I don't know if I've ever Green Sea. Is that north of Conway? Where's Green Sea at? Is that between Conway uh, and Florence, up in that area? Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to, I'm, for the guys listening, I will just pause in there. I must have blinked and missed it then, Kevin, because I have never seen that sound. Of course, that's like people ask me a lot of times, say, where are you from, when they hear my Southern accent? And I tell them, well, I'm from a little small town that's in between Dallas and Waco. And they go, oh, you're from Texas. I go, you mean Texas has a Dallas and a Waco too? No, no. I'm in a little small town. In all seriousness, you look it up on Google Maps. On one side of Cherryville, there's a little town called Waco. On the other side of Cherryville, there's a town called Dallas. So we have a Dallas, North Carolina, a Waco, North Carolina, and I'm right in between them at Cherryville, North Carolina. So, but that's always a good when people try to throw my Southern accent, and I have a lot of people to say, "Are you from Texas?" And I go, "No." Well, or I'll say, "Yeah, I'm from a little town between Dallas and Waco," and that way I have a little inside joke. Yeah, yeah. I only have a few Kansas subscribers. I think. I don't know. There's Kansas is Kansas and Oklahoma. You may have heard me talk. The very first time I ever went to Oklahoma, I was out there in a truck, and it was windy, and I noticed that it had been windy all the way going in, and this was, I think I was over about Moore, Oklahoma, where I had to stop at a truck stop right on the other side of Oklahoma City. And uh, when I stopped there, I asked the guy working at the service station part of of the truck stop. I said, "Whew," I said, "When does this wind ever die down?" I said, "It's been real windy." He goes, "Never." I said, "Okay." So I realized right quick that Oklahoma and Kansas area out there are pretty windy states, and uh, I guess that's the reason years ago the old Dust Bowl situation happened during the Depression and everything else. That things, if you let it deteriorate and everything, it could go down and get really dusty. And of course, the rock group Kansas, the one of their famous songs is "Dust in the Wind," and like you can understand why with uh, everything out there. Yeah, yeah, and you listen to Chris's outdoor footage. Yeah, he's got to put. You're gonna have to buy one of those wind socks on your microphone. You've seen those microphones that have the wind sock on it, Chris. Yeah, you probably need to have that. Yeah, yeah. I tell you, yeah, I like. Yeah, yeah. I tell you, it. I mean, it's some beautiful countryside out there, and I'm headed out that way, going to. I've got to make a trip to Las Vegas, and the wife and I are wanting to drive out. So maybe you'll see me doing some live videos driving out, and we're hoping to have a good trip going out to Las Vegas. We're going out with my Napa, since I'm a Napa dealer too. We're going out with, they've got what they call Expo 2020 that's coming up 1st of April. Barbara, is that right? April 6th, I think. At April 6th, I'm gonna be out there, but I'm gonna start moving or traveling out that way in March. So I'm gonna probably take 2 or 3 weeks off and travel out through the Midwest and West, and just see a lot of sites that we have never seen firsthand. I mean, uh, people have said to me for years that, Oh, have you been so and so? Yeah, I sure have. I've been in this state and that state and everything. But most truck drivers will tell you there's the way you see the United States in a truck. You got two hands on the wheel and you're looking through a windshield and you're seeing signs. You're seeing a lot of interstate, and that's all you see. And I want to be able to get out on the back roads and see different people and see different aspects of what's going on out there and all that sort of stuff. So that's what I'm trying to do. Uh, I don't know if I'm going to go to California or not, Ralph. California, I've talked about it. Are we going to go to California? My wife is shaking her head no right now. We're going to probably turn around. We're going to go to the Grand Canyon. We're going to go to Las Vegas. We're going to go to, I want to go back through and see the arches. I've never seen the arches in St. Louis. And we're going to go see a lot of stuff in Memphis and Muscle Shoals. And where are some of the other sites we're going to see, Barbara? My wife will not talk, so I had to kind of, she's, we're not going, we've already been in Nashville a couple of times, so we're not going through Nashville. We're going to dodge that. We're going to kind of do a different kind of route. I'm going to get off the interstate a good bit and try to, probably, I might be on Route 66 as opposed to I-40 on some sites. And I told her, I said, I have to go to Winslow, Arizona, because everybody that's of age to know that. Reason I'm saying that is because of the Eagles song. You know, I'm see if I can find me a girl in a flatbed Ford in Winslow, Arizona. Yeah, I got to go to Graceland. Yeah, that's where we're going to go to Graceland. She wants to see that. Yeah, but I want to be able to see a couple sites here and there and do some traveling. That's our goal anyway. I mean, I've traveled all over the United States, but like I said, I've seen mostly interstate. And my wife and I, even when we come down to Hilton Head, that she wants to travel the back roads, and we have found what's for one reason she doesn't like interstate. She doesn't like interstate driving. Interstate driving to her is like a nightmare. And I look over and she's got the oh crap bar, I call it. She's hanging on to that sometimes. So we try to be a little more relaxing and get on the off roads and enjoy ourselves. But we'll see. I don't know if I can go back roads all the way to Las Vegas, but I'm gonna get off and go certain back roads where it's more entertaining and a few things. I might have to go out there and see Chris and Ricky out there in Kansas and everything. Are you going to have me a room finished out there so I can have a place to stay? Or you can send me to the nearest Holiday Inn Express is what you'll probably have to do. But no, Hilton Head's, well, I'm on the cheap side of Hilton Head. We're shoestring. I mean, we like it down here. We primarily got it because we have trucks based in Savannah. And when we got the contract for trucks in Savannah, I told my wife, I said, well, I need to probably find us a place. And I told her, I said, well, we'll just find one up here. What's that little town? Hardyville. I said, yeah, we probably find us a nice little place up at Hardyville. She said, no. She says, look what's 30 miles east of Hardyville, 25, 30 miles. She says, that's Hilton Head. She said, I think I can find me a nice place there as opposed to Hardyville. And you can drive that 25 miles extra down to the terminal. So that's what we did. And, what can I say? We got us a little condo down here and they put an ocean right beside my office. Go figure. But we enjoy it. It's a nice, quiet. It really wasn't that expensive. We were able to buy it really on the back side of the, I guess the downfall of the economy a few years ago. what we've been in now, 3 or 4 years. We've had this condo 3 or 4 years. Anyway, we kind of got it when it had fallen down in price and on a lot of things. So we were able to actually get a good deal on it. And as we look at the equity and everything that we probably built, it was probably a really good investment at the time for us to get this, unless the economy changes. But you know, when prices on houses and everything else had gone down, they had gone down on, of course, you know, resort living too on this, and we were able to pick up this condo at a fairly good price, and from what we've seen, our neighbors, so what they've sold their condos for down here, we could do pretty good if I ever want to sell it. And you know, one day we probably will. I mean, I'm gonna age out for this type of situation. Although the wife likes it down here. She sits over here. She's sitting over here beside me, and she's sort of giving when I say selling it, she's giving me the no, not anytime soon. So we'll see. Well, guys, I've been on here over an hour. I like to kind of cut these down to about an hour, and my voice kind of leaves me about an hour. So I'm gonna get out of here. The wife has got a few ideas of things that we need to do this morning, and before we take off tomorrow. And so we're probably gonna just end this video. I've enjoyed chatting with everybody, all the new chatters, and everybody else that's jumped in here too, new subscribers. So come check us out again next Sunday, and I'll try to put some more videos up too. I've got some things to do. So y'all take care, and I'll see y'all next week, especially live next week, and probably some other videos too. See ya.